Well, hey there, entrepreneurs. Welcome back to our weekly Ask Me Anything. Today, we're talking all about how to repurpose your IGTV videos after you've already kicked them out to IGTV. We're going to be talking about what to do if you want to publish a book for your business. We're going to talk about how to create covers. We're going to talk about how to actually go through the publishing process and why it could be beneficial to you. And we're going to answer other questions that came in throughout the course of the week. And if you're joining me live, you are more than welcome to drop your questions while we're on air so that I can answer as many as possible in the next 15 or 20 minutes or so. And anything we don't get to today will be saved for the next live stream where I'm answering your questions live, or maybe you'll get a full YouTube video specifically for your questions. So let's go ahead and let's dive in and see what came in earlier this week. So we got a great comment over on Instagram DMs, and it said, I really love your work. I have a question. You talk about repurposing live videos. How can I do that after I transfer them to IGTV? So if you're doing something on Instagram and you are putting a video directly on IGTV, you already have that source file. You're good to go with that. You can repurpose those anywhere. If you are repurposing a live stream to IGTV, which tends to be what most of us do, you are actually going to be able to do that in a couple of different ways. And I did drop a link inside of the captions, inside of the comments for you. So make sure you're checking out our video all about repurposing IGTV videos. But there is something you need to be aware of. Once you have saved this to IGTV, you have the ability to either grab it before you post it, or you have to screen record it. Once you've posted it to IGTV, you do not have the ability to go back in and grab those files. So you're going to have to screen record it. That either means that you have to pull up your phone and screen record directly on your phone with the audio, or you're going to have to tether your phone to your computer and use something like QuickTime to get those files to record that screen. And again, you want to make sure that you have the audio attached to that. And I do recommend typically that you should be recording this while you're actually doing your live stream on Instagram, because that means you're not wasting time later on. You are actually going to be taking your live stream as you are live so that you don't have to spend 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour later on actually getting that and unable to use your phone in that particular way. So I recommend that you are doing that as you are live, and we've got lots of videos on that, so make sure you check those out on the page. And then you can repurpose them on YouTube, on Facebook. You can even repurpose them inside of your Instagram feed in different clips, Instagram stories. You can put them on TikTok. You can do all sorts of really cool things with them. So I highly recommend that you are repurposing your IGTV videos that came from those Instagram live streams. If you've got questions and you're joining me live, hello, thanks so much. Go ahead and drop your social media questions on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all those fun things that help you to grow your business through social media. We are answering your questions today. Tidy Living with Sabrina jumped in and said, you had some amazing points about having our stories at different times. These are some great tips. Keep up the great content. I am super excited that you are here, and thanks so much for joining us, Sabrina. Always love seeing you in the comments. We had another great comment that is apparently not moving over for me. We're having a little bit of trouble with the system today. So let me just see if I can get this in here. But I do appreciate you guys showing up and joining us as we're talking all about social media strategy. Let me try kicking that off screen and back on screen. It is just not gonna do that for me today. Let me try one more thing. There we go. I do want to let you know that BeLive has a brand new platform edition that just came out this week. It's not even available to everybody yet. We've got a tutorial on it all about how you can be editing your videos and repurposing your live streams from Facebook and from YouTube directly inside of the BeLive platform. So you actually have the ability to now clip those out and then repurpose them elsewhere so that you don't have to download, upload to your editing program, do the editing, then export it again. It saves you a ton of time, effort, and steps. So make sure you check out the tutorial that dropped earlier this week and you don't want to miss it. Sierra says, I love how well you walk me through these steps. It makes it so easy to follow. We're talking all about how you can take on-screen questions for Instagram live streams. Coda Queen jumped in and said, what are your suggestions to repurpose? Screen record. Yeah, screen recording for Instagram live streams, that's going to be your best bet. So you want to make sure that you either have it screen recording on your phone and you have the audio set, and you have to check this every single time. I actually learned this the hard way this week. I started recording through my phone for my TikTok live streams, and I've lost some of them because my phone glitched or because it didn't work, it didn't save properly, didn't save the audio. So now I'm going back to my old way of tethering it directly to my phone. So tethering it directly to my computer. So I'll plug in my charging cable to my phone, and then I'll plug that into my computer. I'll pull up QuickTime, and then I'll just record the screen so that even if my phone glitches out, my computer's still going to get it. It's still going to get the audio. So that is actually something I learned the hard way this week, unfortunately. So I do recommend that you are screen recording it with the audio as you're doing it live, because as you're doing it live, that's in real time. That means you do not have to go back and then re-record the thing you already did. So it just makes a lot of sense to do it as you're doing it live. I understand that if you're on location, that might be a little hard. So try it with your phone. If it doesn't work on your phone, then tether it to your computer and do it that way. But if you can at all do it while you are live streaming, that's going to make it a lot easier. Now, this is specific to Instagram lives and TikTok lives. If you are doing it to Facebook or to YouTube, it saves your video footage. You don't have to worry about that. You can pull it either from Facebook or YouTube directly from the source, or you can pull it from BeLive if you are using the platform that I do recommend. I do have that linked down below with a free trial and some cool things that go along with that, some great tutorials as well. So that's down in the caption below. But I highly recommend that you are repurposing all of your live streams, because that means you don't have to create as much content later on. You can just repurpose what you've already done in different, unique ways. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I do appreciate it. And if you've got more questions, keep them coming in. Shelby jumped onto TikTok this week, and she said, how do you get one of your books published and out there in the world? Now, this specifically did mean for fiction writing, but this applies to businesses as well. So Shelby has a great question. How do you create a book and get it out for your business? I do have books for my business. You guys know I'm a best-selling fiction author, but I also have nonfiction books that go with my business, and I teach you how to do different things to grow your businesses. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs create ebooks. They create those PDFs. They create workbooks. They create those lead magnets that they give out as freebies. But you can actually do more in-depth versions of those or different things, and you can put them on Amazon. You can put them on Barnes & Noble. They don't have to be physical books. They can be in ebook form as well. And you can make extra income through doing these things. And it's a really great way to find new followers. I have people coming to me specifically because they were searching for some of the answers that I had in my book. They found my book on Amazon, and then they came to me for my courses, for the rest of the things that I teach. They found my YouTube page. They found my TikTok. They found my social media. And this is a really great way to have that passive income, because all you have to do is write it. You have to put it out there, and then it just goes. You can market it. You can take it to different conventions and events and summits. You can promote it. You can use them as giveaways. And you can do both physical books and ebooks. So I highly recommend looking into writing nonfiction books that go with your business and putting them out there, because even if nobody buys them, you still have them. You can still market with them, and it doesn't cost you anything. You can actually create a book without any money. If you can create a cover, which I don't recommend you do, I do recommend that you work with a professional cover designer, because that will make or break sales. But you can write your own content. You can hire an editor if you would like, but it's a little bit different between fiction and nonfiction. So you can get people to check for all of these errors inside of your nonfiction books. You can do the formatting yourself. There's actually a program we talk about here on the channel that allows you to do your own formatting. So you do a one-time payment, and then you can format all of your ebooks, all of your lead magnets, all of your PDFs that you're sending out. You can turn into workbooks. You can do all these things. And it's just a one-time payment for this program that's drag and drop and super easy to do. And then all you have to do is put it out on Amazon. And if you want, you can put it on the other buying platforms as well. And that's just passive income for you. It's really easy to do. So I highly recommend it. If you want more publishing tips, you can go over to where I am an author. So it's youtube.com/KM Robinson Books, where I'm breaking down the entire publishing industry from a fiction and nonfiction standpoint. So you can check out more info over there. And if you've got questions, please feel free to drop those in. Carol says, thanks for sharing this information about Instagram Lives. We're talking all about Instagram live streaming this week. Carol, I appreciate you being there. Adriana says, some great questions asked and super informative answers. Thanks so much. Cheers. We were talking in one of our live Ask Me Anything sessions where people were bringing the really great questions, just like you guys are today. Feel free to drop your questions in there. If you've got them, I would love to get more of these answered for you in the next 10 minutes. We're here every single Wednesday answering your questions live. And we had another great question come from TikTok, which is all about how you come up with the ideas for your book covers. She's been trying to come up with some ideas, but hasn't had any luck. So whether we're talking about fiction or nonfiction books, the thing you have to do is go to Amazon. I do recommend Amazon for this, and search your type of book, whatever your genre is and whatever your niche down genre is. You want to start looking at the book covers that are ranking at the top. So you're looking at the top 50 or top 100 books in that genre, and you're seeing what is selling, because different genres and different niche down genres have different expectations for book covers, and they're gonna look different. So if you're creating a business book, you're going to want to make sure that it looks very clearly like it's a business book, and a business book in that sector, in that section of the niche down industry that you are in. Some books have specific colors. You will notice a lot of business books have yellow in their cover, or are primarily yellow. You're going to notice a lot of them are white. They've got red writing. You will notice big block letters. So the type fonts that you are using matter, and those translate into sales or not sales. The picture that you have on the front matters. Some people have pictures. This is actually a little more social media friendly, a little more along the lines of my branding, things you're going to expect from a social media book. Whereas someone who is just giving straight business advice for like running a business of any kind, not necessarily social media, that's going to look a little bit less like this. It's not going to have someone on the cover. Or maybe if you are a super well-known speaker, you will have yourself on the cover. So you're going to sit there and you're going to go through all the different genres and niches that your book is part of. You're going to look for those trends, and then you're going to design something similar to that. And I do recommend that you get a professional cover designer, because that 100% informs the number of sales that you will have, whether you are fiction or nonfiction, whether you are someone well-known or not well-known. That is really going to matter. And again, for more information on publishing books, you are going to go over to youtube.com/KMRobinsonBooks, where I've got lots of things. I'm actually, in my next couple of videos, I am going to be breaking down over there how to list your books on Amazon, on Barnes & Noble, on Kobo, on iBooks, on all those places. I'm going to show you click for click, button for button, in a series of several different videos for the different platforms, exactly how to do that, so that you can do it if you're going to be creating this for your business without any stress or struggle. All right. We got another great comment that says, thanks for sharing all this incredible information. Love your on-screen energy as well. We're talking about saving time making TikToks. And friend, I am so glad to see you here. It's always lovely to see your comments on the video, and I appreciate the love and support. And I'm glad you like my energy, because I know I can be a little peppy and a little energetic. So I like when I find my people. Carol jumped in and said, I finally created a lead magnet. Thanks for the tips. We're talking all about how to use lead pages to actually get people to opt into your newsletter. So those newsletter opt-ins that come with your email service provider don't work well, like at all. It's not a good thing. So you want to make sure you're using a high-end professional program to design your lead magnets. You can do this in different ways, but I love using lead pages because it's drag and drop. It's super easy to use. They actually have tried, true, and tested templates that you can use to market to not only get your opt-ins for your newsletters, but also you can do it for other types of opt-ins. You can use them for sales pages. You could even use it for your website, like if you really want to. There's a lot of really cool things you can do in there, and it's highly helpful. So I've got that linked down in the caption below. You can check that one out, because I am giving you free trials of things. I got you covered. I got all sorts of tools and resources down in the description bar for you. Danielle, thanks for joining. I appreciate you being here as always. We got another great question this week that I want to take a second to answer. This is all, well, let me read it first. It says, your energy is so contagious. I'm curious about YouTube Live. I have lots of experience with Facebook Live, and in fact, just made a video on that, but I'd love to go on YouTube Live and wondering if there's a huge difference. So right now, I'm simulcasting both to Facebook and to YouTube, and there are some pretty big differences in the platform and also some similarities. Now, I do have videos on this. There are videos on my page all about specifically where you should be live streaming for your business, the best places for your business, what you need to know about each of these to make the right decisions on where you're going to be live streaming, if you're going to be simulcasting, all those things. So this is just a very, very quick highlight of that. Make sure you watch that video because that's important. But when it comes to Facebook, you have a built-in audience. You've already got your audience there. And because it's a social network as opposed to a search engine like YouTube is, with a social network, it's actually going to let people know that you are going live. Now, we do know that the organic reach is down on Facebook. They are asking us more so to pay for ads to get our content seen by people than to have that organic reach. So yes, you will be informed. Some of your people will be informed that you're live. You can schedule it over on Facebook so people know in advance. It does store your video, which is something that's great for people to see in perpetuity, but it does not really let people see it too far out after. They would actually have to go to your page, then search through all your videos, then watch it. It's not something that's going to be easy, or it's not going to be something that's easy for them to find after the fact. So after the first week or so, you're not going to get a ton of views on that. It will live there and people can find it, but it's not going to get a bunch of views after that point. But it does have the built-in audience, and people do tend to show up more so to a Facebook while you're live than to a YouTube while you're live. It's just the way that they notify people, and because it does show up in the newsfeed as people are scrolling. Now with YouTube, it again lives in perpetuity, but because it's a search engine, you're going to find people who are seeing those videos days, weeks, months, even years after you post it, and you will still get really good traffic for this. Some of my videos from last year are still getting massive amount of hits every single day, which is not something you see on Facebook. Now, YouTube does notify people that you're live, but not in the best of ways, and so people do not necessarily show up as much or as strongly while you are live on air. It tends to be people watching after the fact, so they get the replay of it. But it does live on forever and ever, and a lot of people can see it. You do get to schedule it. You do get to do SEO, which you can kind of do on Facebook, but doesn't really make as big of a difference on Facebook as it does on YouTube. So there are some similarities, there are some differences. I highly recommend doing both. And if you can simulcast to both, that's actually pretty good. But there are times you will not want to simulcast. If you are looking specifically for the numbers of viewers, if you are looking for the number of people to be on your live streams, if you simulcast to two locations at the same time, you're splitting your audience. So if it's really important that you have a high number of people active and participating on your YouTube, you're not going to want to give them the option of also showing up to Facebook, because some people will show up to Facebook and not your YouTube page. That will mean you get the same amount of audience, but it's divided between two things and it doesn't register as high for the algorithms. So you have to pay attention and decide what's going to be the best fit for each individual live stream that you are doing and the best audience for that, especially because you're going to find different audiences on different platforms at different times during your day and your week. So just figure out what's going to be best for you. You're going to have to do some trial and error. I love doing simulcasting for the most part, and usually you will see me simulcasting now because I am able to reach those audiences, and I'm not as worried about my numbers on the specific platforms because I still do really well either way, but it comes down to what's going to work best for you and your business. So watch those videos. That's going to be incredibly helpful to figure out where you need to be live streaming, when you need to be live streaming, and should you be simulcasting or not for each individual live stream that you do inside of your business. Now, if you've got questions or comments, I would love to get those answered for you. We are at the end of our 20 minutes for today. So if you've got questions, you can drop them on any of my YouTube videos, any of my social media posts, and I will store those for our next live Ask Me Anything. We're here every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and I am so excited for you to be joining us and asking your questions in real time so that we can level up your business and create a profitable brand through smart social media marketing. We have just wrapped up a great series on TikTok, and we're about to dive into a brand new feature that Instagram launched earlier this week. I cannot wait to teach you about it. That is coming out on Friday, so make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell if you don't want to miss out on that one. This is gonna be good, especially for those of you who are Android users on Instagram who did not have access to one really important feature because you were an Android user. You now have a little bit of a workaround. So we're going to show you exactly what that is and how to use it this week on the YouTube page. And I will see you, of course, on all the social medias. We've got a really good live stream coming for you tomorrow on Instagram. So join me tomorrow afternoon. It's going to be lots and lots of fun, very informative. We've got some cool things going on, and I can't wait to show you. Until